Tell us about what's going on with OpenAP. Give us a little bit of a progress report.
Sure. So the platform officially launched on September 29th of last year, which was very exciting. We actually beat our delivery date by about 2 days, which for those of you involved in technology development know that that's an impressive milestone. Anytime you beat a delivery date, it's a very good thing. Since that time, we've actually been onboarding all of the agencies and users. So at this point, we have over 700 users on the platform and almost 30 agencies across the entire US onboarded. So that means with IDs and starting to access the system. That was the majority of fourth quarter. And at this point now, we're actually starting to see segments flow through the system, which is really, really exciting. So at Turner, all of our deals now, all of our audience deals are actually being powered by OpenAP. So segments that are being created there, segments that are also going to be posted there as well. So it's a really exciting time. You know, at this point now, we're starting to take a deeper look at the roadmap and the future of OpenAP and where it goes. You know, as we've always said to the marketplace, it's not set it and forget it. So we have a version of the platform that's built today. We have a roadmap that takes us through essentially a 1.5 release, and it's going to go even beyond that. We have some very big, progressive, and we think exciting ideas that we look forward to telling the marketplace about as we move through 2018.
So Dan, let's take a little peek under the hood and of OpenAP and sort of the data that you guys use and kind of the utility it provides to the users, and explain kind of a little bit in the black box, if you would.
Yeah, absolutely. So at its core, you have to remember what the core purpose is, right? And if you had to sum it up in one word, it's consistency, right? So OpenAP enables consistency in both how you define a segment and the data in which you're using for that segment. Now, it is open though, right? Meaning it's not just limited to one data set. So in the platform today, it is based on Nielsen data, and you could also leverage comScore data if you'd like. So you have 2 options. But in the future, we firmly see that expanding, right, based on marketplace demand. So as other data sets become available in the marketplace, and as advertisers and agencies are interested in those data sets and want to transact audiences on those data sets, we'll of course look to onboard those. Today, I think we're very excited with the use that we're seeing around Nielsen and comScore. We are enabling agencies and advertisers to use syndicated segments, so things like MRI and some of the typical data sets they use day in and day out, but also the ability to onboard their own first-party data, which is actually, I would say, probably the biggest trend that we're seeing. The most sophisticated advertisers and agencies are moving that way. I think it's where we see the biggest growth today is in the use of true first-party data, whether it be owned by the agency or the advertiser. That's where majority of this business is starting to move. And then there's a myriad of other challenges with it, but right now we do offer the ability in OpenAP, both with Nielsen and with comScore, to leverage first-party data, which is really exciting. And that's an area I think as we think about the roadmap, we want to make that process easier, faster, more cost-efficient. You know, right now matching first-party data can take a little bit of time. It can also cost a little bit of money for those of you who have done that before. So the opportunity for OpenAP to make that process more seamless is definitely something that we're starting to think about as well.
So you guys don't actually sell media through the platform. Could you explain a little bit about how people sort of find an audience and then buy it either with you or on Viacom or on Fox?
Yeah, absolutely. So to that point, today on the platform, you cannot go in and buy media. That's today. Who knows what tomorrow holds, but today you cannot. So today what you do when you go into the platform is you would go in, you select your swim lane from a data set standpoint, Nielsen or comScore, and then you could actually see lots of attributes and variables about potential audiences. And you can start to combine those. So for instance, you might select a Nielsen data set, and you might want to use Nielsen Catalina data, which is CPG purchasing data based on loyalty card information. And you can see hundreds of attributes about how people are purchasing in different categories in CPG. Using Boolean logic, you can start to combine those and integrate those, right? So I want someone who's heavy category, low share of requirements for this particular category. You select all of those things, right? And now you've built a segment essentially. And the tool will size that segment for you live in the tool, right? So it'll tell you how many people in the US fit that criteria, right? Based on Nielsen's data set. And then you can choose to share it with any of the participating publishers. In a very simple way, you click a little bubble that has Turner's name in it, has Fox's name, Viacom's name. And once you click that, what happens now is on our end, right, that's communicated to us. Now we know the exact definition of your segment. We know the exact data set that you're using, right? And that's really, really important. It sounds simple, but I can't tell you, right? Imagine somebody called you and said, hi, I want to buy truck intenders. What's a truck intender? What data is it based on? Is that somebody who owned a truck, used to own a truck, currently owns a truck, is in market for a truck? Who knows? Now OpenAP can tell you that. It becomes one single source of truth that we're, again, in a consistent manner, you've defined it, now shared it with multiple publishers. Once you do that and you share it, this is where, again, you come now outside of the platform, because OpenAP doesn't enable you to buy in the system yet, right? So it enables you just to build that segment and share it. Now you'd have to, in a more traditional fashion, contact each of the publishers, right, and figure out how you want to structure a deal to actually buy that segment. All of that work happens outside of the platform. The deal gets cut, right? You agree to the terms. The media gets flighted and executed on air, right? And then from there, right, you steward the deal the same way you would. But now the really important part is what we've also built with OpenAP is once the deal is complete, right, a lot of times you need to understand, well, okay, did it really deliver? Well, in the old world, pre-OpenAP, when someone wanted to know, okay, hey, I bought a schedule that had 50 million impressions against truck contenders, did it deliver? Well, you had me or someone from Viacom or Fox with a PowerPoint. Yeah, look, 50 million impressions, it delivered. Perfect. Well, now in OpenAP, you can actually verify that post. So you can load log files back into the system, and it will provide a verified measurement coming from the measurement companies. That's really important. It's coming from comScore. It's coming from Nielsen. We didn't build a new measurement company. We just built a mechanism so that we can surface that data in a very quick and easy fashion.
And finally, the data coming out of OpenAP for Turner, what is the media that's bought against it? In other words, is it the cable programming? Is it cross-screen?
Sure.
What, give us a sort of an idea.
So our current product suite today, on the audience front, we do sell audiences across linear TV. We sell them across our digital assets as well, VOD, OTT, FEP. Our core audience product that we launched, Audience Now, which is where most of the segments are flowing through OpenAP at this point, started out as a linear-based product. So it was against all of our linear inventory, literally all of it, right? We get that question a lot, whether that's original programming on TNT, sports content on any of our networks, right? Literally every single piece of content on TV funnels through audience deals, and OpenAP enables that. What we've started to actually do, and this happens a little bit outside of OpenAP, but we have some beta products where we're actually starting to map audience segments across our digital footprint as well. So that now when we structure an audience deal, a portion of the impressions can actually run in live linear television, but also wherever we can map that audience from a digital distribution standpoint. So in FEP, potentially OTT, potentially even VOD when and where we're addressable. So that's a really, really exciting initiative, and that's really important, right? Because everybody knows supply in live TV, it's not going up. It's not flat, it's going down. And that can be very scary. And frankly, that's scary for the entire marketplace. Right? TV is a very, very effective advertising medium. We would argue probably the most effective advertising medium, right? But unfortunately, there is a supply challenge that's happening right now driven by fragmentation of viewership. And the publishers, right, the media companies, we're actually driving that. We're putting our content everywhere, right? We're putting more and more episodes available on VOD. We all have new OTT offerings that we're building, right? We're literally putting our content and distributing it in many, many different ways, right? And that's enabling consumers to watch it and consume it in different ways, right? So the onus is now on us to build an advertising ecosystem, right? And advertising products that enable us to consistently reaggregate that audience and use data to drive value. And that's really what we're trying to do. It's good for the marketplace, brings supply back.